ready to begin, James.
Copy.
What happened?
They're all gone. Everybody's gone.
Generals gathered in their masses, just like witches at black masses.
Daddy!
12 SEALs lost and no one in command even issues a statement.
Nothing in this file adds up.
Who has the capability to alter our signals, change our records?
Evil minds that plot destruction.
Brother, that is God's hand kind of shit.
Sorcerer.
Headaches, paranoia, memory confusion.
Well, I'm not crazy.
You need somebody to help you prove it.
I know what it's like when war follows you home. I hope you'll be able to find peace knowing this mission is over.
Death and hatred to mankind.
You're not at war. You're at home. There's a difference.
Not anymore.
Poisoning everyone's mind.
I can't let you keep doing this. I think something happened to me on that op.
Poisoning everyone's mind. Oh, Lord,
Hey guys, what's up? It's Greg Srzavosty with Deepest Dream. Here's my review of The Terminalist, a limited series from Prime Video that is headlined by Chris Pratt. So my review of this, my spoiler-free review, will be simply based on the series itself with absolutely 0% knowledge of Carr's work as an author and his stories of James Reece. And I'm sure there may be complaints or whatnot from people who really know the material better than I do. But again, I'm just judging it from the actual series, which, by the way, no spoilers, but this is spoiler alert for this review. 100% love this. This is a 4.5 out of 5 star rating for me. It's pretty much pitch perfect on almost every sense of the word. But there's just this one minor complaint, which I'll get to towards the end of the review. Here's one of the great things about The Terminalist. 8 episodes. You can binge watch them like any other series if you want, like any other limited series you want. But the great thing about it is each installment is pretty much distinct on its own. And there's one specific episode, I'm not going to tell you what number it is, but there's one specific episode which deals with the issue of surviving in the outdoors that really grabbed me. And I'm going to go back and watch it ASAP. Really, really loved that entire episode. That's my favorite one out of the entire bunch. It's the one that is the most unique. That said, all of the other episodes are really, really strong. The basic premise of The Terminalist centers on James Reece, a U.S. Navy SEAL commander, who leads his fellow brothers into an ambush in Syria, somewhere down in the sewers. It's a really bungled operation, not through the fault of the SEALs, but through possibly bad intel from the higher ups. So when James Reece travels back stateside, he has a bad concussion now. He has maybe a little bit of PTSD. He reunites with his wife and daughter. His wife is played by Keough, and yeah, he's a little bit. He's not checked out with his family. He's blurring the lines between reality and illusion because of this bad concussion he had during the operation. And also he wants to get to the bottom of why were they fed allegedly bad intel? Where did the original information regarding this intel come from? And were he and his fellow Navy SEALs, were they betrayed? Were they stabbed in the back during this operation, which caused the loss of most of his men? And that is the premise of The Terminalist. The Terminalist, in one sense, you might think it might refer to the SEALs who passed away during the operation. Actually, The Terminalist centers on the people who James Reece believes were involved in the operation that led to his fellow SEALs members' deaths. Okay, so the Terminalists are the people he has on a list that one by one he will go out and seek vengeance, and ultimately of these supposed villains, these supposed shady characters who caused the loss of life of his friends and colleagues and brothers. Okay, so that is the simple A to B plot line behind the Terminal List. The things, again, that I really loved about it is the fact that it draws you in immediately, especially after the first maybe couple of episodes. You're wondering if James Reece, regarding his recounting of the actual event that occurred, you're wondering, with his concussion and his grip on reality, did everything happen the way he actually envisioned it? Or is he actually imagining some of the events which he believes happened and actually didn't happen? So it blurs the line within the first couple of episodes. You're wondering whether James Reece is not sane, but if he's mentally prepared or healthy enough to engage in this Terminal List operation. Constance Wu also stars in this series as an investigative journalist who actually believes that she has a story with James Reece. There must be something going on regarding this conspiracy that he probably thinks is going on, and she starts helping him investigate in the matter, and she provides sort of a little bit of help during his journey. Also, Taylor Kitsch is a former Navy SEAL buddy and best friend of James Reece. He plays his character Ben. Ben is now not a Navy SEAL, but he's a member of the CIA. And he's using all his knowledge that he can within the CIA database to help James Reece find these alleged culprits, and he helps James Reece dispatch of all the bad people involved in this operation. Also in this series is Jean Triplehorn, and she's great as the Madam Secretary, the Secretary of Defense, who may or may not be involved in this operation that needs to be covered up or not. Maybe she's clean as a whistle, or maybe she is corrupt and in cahoots with said operation as well. Other actors involved in this series include Jai Courtney. I believe I'm saying the name correctly. Jai Courtney from Suicide Squad and Jack Reacher. He's good in this one as well. He plays a corporate exec, actually a big money man, and he has a very important role within a part of the narrative regarding that said operation. So he's very good as, I'm not going to say who he plays, but it's a memorable role. Also, James Gunn is also very good. There's not too many, very few moments of levity in this series. Okay, so if you're expecting Parks and Recreation Chris Pratt, forget it. You're not going to get it. In fact, there is one moment where the fact that James Reece understandably does not smile or crack a joke or is charming, there's a very quick joke regarding him not smiling or cracking jokes or whatnot, and it happens just during one downtime, during one brief second in the series. But regarding Sean Gunn, I'm not going to say who he plays specifically, but he is also involved within the series. He has his moment to shine on the show, and he's a standout. He does provide for some comedic moments because his character is such a little bit of a slime ball. Let's just say that. A little bit of a glad-handing slime ball, and I really enjoyed his character quite a bit. Taylor Kitsch, if you know him from Friday Night Lights and John Carter of Mars and what is that other movie, Battleship, True Detective. He's a really good actor, and he plays a perfect sort of right-hand man to Chris Pratt in this show as well. They play well off each other. So there's so many really great things about the Terminal List. Bottom line, though, is if you love revenge thrillers and if you like to see pretty much this one-man killing machine, that is James Reece, played by Chris Pratt, just go about his business and dispatch of people who have supposedly wronged him and his brothers, this is going to be it. If you love revenge films, revenge-tinged series, the Terminal List should be right up your alley. There are a couple of warnings, though. There are a couple of scenes that gets really violent. One specific scene where you might have to turn away. So just look out for those moments where it gets really grim. Okay, a lot of this series has grim moments and violent moments. And if you don't like seeing those things, just close your eyes for a moment and get past it. Also, there's a couple of really great action sequences set in different locations around the world that I really enjoyed. I love the variety of action sequences in the Terminal List. It's not just a predictable A to B action visual composition situation. Again, like there is that one episode regarding surviving out in the outdoors, which really, for me, I can't wait to watch again, and it's just a powerhouse of an episode. But there are other different episodes in this series which should grab you on a purely visceral level. My one minor complaint, though, is the flashbacks in the Terminal List. I felt they are needed. They are needed because they do help round out the character of James Reece, because he's trying to get to the truth regarding his past. Obviously, he has some health issues with his concussion. It might be more, might not might not be. I'm not going to say. Though needed, I feel there were a little bit too much flashbacks for its own good. Whenever a flashback occurred, maybe if they cut a little bit of flashbacks, I would have liked it even more. This might have been a 5-star film for me. But sometimes when they went to a flashback, I just wanted them to go right to the present day, to the meat of the story, get into the action or the character development among James Reece and the people he works with in these operations and the people he meets along the way. I just felt they not leaned into it, but I think they utilized the flashback sequence just a tad too much. But again, that is a minor complaint regarding the whole big picture of the Terminalist. I really loved so many things about this. Chris Pratt is fantastic. You see he's completely engaged. I bought it. I buy him as a comedic actor. I buy him in those Jurassic movies. I haven't seen the latest one, but I loved him in Passengers, so I'm a Chris Pratt fan. I don't know how you guys stand on Chris Pratt, whether he is a capable actor, talented actor for you. That might tip your hand regarding whether you want to see this series or not, but I would suggest, even if you're not the hugest Chris Pratt fan, maybe give The Terminalist a shot. The first episode is directed by Training Day filmmaker Antoine Fuqua, and he really sets the tone for the rest of the series. I feel like if you watch the first episode and you're really locked in to the first episode, continue with the rest of The Terminalist. I think you will be pleasantly surprised, if not absolutely blown away by the acting performances. Again, Jean Triplehorn is excellent in this. Constance Wu is very, very good. Taylor Kitsch, everyone's very good, but ultimately, the series hinges on the performance and the believability and locked-in vibe of Chris Pratt, and I feel he just gives a grade A performance as James Reece. This is actually, I'm not a huge reader, if at all, and after watching The Terminalist, I'll definitely want to go out and purchase a couple of James Carr paperbacks and see how The Terminalist holds up to the actual limited series and vice versa. So would love to hear what you guys think about The Terminalist. Did it work for you, or did you find this to be absolutely disappointing? Again, it's an 8-episode limited series on Prime Video, July 1st. Most importantly, would love to hear what you think of The Terminalist and give me your insights on the Chris Pratt headlined project. Thanks again, guys, so much for your time. And yeah, subscribe to the channel. Support, like, subscribe, all that stuff for more exclusive interviews with actors and filmmakers, and reviews and podcast reviews with my buddies Eric Holmes and Bruce Purkey from Find Your Film, and my close friend, they're all my close friends, and my buddy Anderson Cowan from CinemAddicts for my 2 podcasts. All right, guys, thanks so much for your time. And yeah, The Terminalist. Check it out.